With the release of the Suicide Squad, we are now 10 movies into the DC Extended Universe, so I'm going to head and rank them. Now, I'm not going to be counting the Snyder Cut. I know literally everyone else has counted it in their rankings, but I'm going to go ahead and not add it. I'm only going to count the movies that are actually canon in the DCEU. And don't get me wrong, the Snyder Cut is a great movie. I thought it was better than the theatrical version for sure, but even I will admit, even Zack Snyder said, even I will admit too, it's not canon. The theatrical version still is, unfortunately. So, yeah. Sorry about that. But, yeah. And remember, this is just my opinion, and if you disagree, that's fine. If you agree, nice. Now, it's been a ranking since I last did a ranking. I think the last time I did a ranking was for the DCEU. I think it was when Birds of Prey came out, so when there was only 8 movies. So it was like back in February of 2020. Huh. Interesting indeed. But yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the ranking. So coming in at number 10 is Justice League. Now, out of all the movies on the Swiss, this is the only one that I think is just plain out terrible. Seriously, this movie is just so stupid, so cheesy. The soundtrack is very dumb. Just you can easily tell this is just a studio interference Joss Whedon cut of a movie. It's thank God we got the Snyder cut, but dear God, I wish this movie was not canon, but it is. So yeah, again, out of all the movies on the Swiss, I think this is the only one that is terrible. And yeah, this movie is just hard to watch or to rewatch because it's just so dumb. The CGI is very stupid. It looks like it came out in the early 2000s. Just you know what? I'm just gonna get into the next one. I don't think I want to talk about this movie much because yeah, it's not that good. Coming in at number 9, I have Birds of Prey. Now, this movie isn't terrible, but it's really boring. Like, first time I saw it in theaters, I really liked it, but I don't know. It's not as good on rewatch. It's just on rewatch I find it to be a lot more boring, you know. And I think boring movies just feel super long, you know. So that's how I felt with Birds of Prey. So yeah, it's like, I mean, I kind of like the idea that they were trying to do here, but I don't know. It didn't work for me too much. I don't think it was bad. It was just fine. It was fine. It's just, I don't know. It's a really hard movie for me to watch on rewatch. So yeah, coming in at number 8 is Wonder Woman 1984. Now. This is a very disappointing sequel, honestly. Again, like I said, all the rest of the movies on the Swiss I do not hate. I like the rest of the movies on here. It's fine. This one's also fine, but it was such a disappointing sequel. It absolutely breaks the continuity, which is why I think Warner Bros. Like they can either do way too much studio interference or they don't do enough. It's like because they didn't do any studio interference for this movie, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But I do wish they would have told Patty Jenkins, like, hey, this is still in the DCEU. We need to make it, you know, we have to have it fit in. But they didn't. She didn't even care herself because this movie absolutely breaks the continuity in the DCEU. So, yeah. That's my biggest problem with it. It's just, yeah, it breaks the continuity. And just like Birds of Prey, it feels kind of long because I think a lot of it was just boring. You know, like the first 2 acts I don't think are that good. I like the third act. The third act was pretty good, I will admit. But besides all that, it's just fine as well. It's a fine movie as well. So, yeah. Coming in at number 7 is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, I don't hate this movie as much as a lot of people do. I remember being really excited for it, and then yeah. So I don't think it's that bad of a movie. And if you're wondering what version I'm talking about, I don't know. Both versions kind of feel the same to me. The only difference with the Ultimate Edition is it's, you know, a bit more screen time on Superman. So, yeah, technically both all in one. Anyway, yeah. I thought it was an okay movie. You know, there was a lot of stuff jammed into here. Obviously, you know, they keep on trying to set up the Justice League, and the fight scene itself with Batman and Superman wasn't too great, but you know. Like, the Batman warehouse fight scene was very good. The fight with Doomsday was alright. Wonder Woman in this movie was great. And, you know, it has some good elements, it has some bad elements. It was okay. It was an okay movie. Anyway, Coming in at number 6 is Suicide Squad. Now, just like BVS, I know a lot of people hate this movie. I actually really like this movie. I think it's fun. I have fun watching it. I remember when I first watched it back in 2016. I absolutely loved it. Obviously, I don't anymore, but I think it's a fun movie. Honestly, I think it's a movie I can sit down and watch and have a good time with. I think the cast does amazing here. Like seriously, like Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Joe Courtney, Joel Kinnaman, all of them do really good in this movie. And the villain sucks, that's for sure. Enchantress, Jared Leto's Joker. I don't think he was terrible like everyone thinks he is, but he was definitely underused in this movie. And it was a fun movie. I think it was, honestly. It's not as good as the Suicide Squad, obviously, because I haven't talked about that yet. But it's fun. I can sit down and rewatch it if I wanted to and have fun with it. So yeah, I like Suicide Squad personally. Coming in at number 5 is Aquaman, probably the savior of the DCEU, because this is the first movie to make $1 billion, and it's also still to this day the highest-grossing DC film in general, which is just crazy to think, if you ask me. Now, I had fun with this movie too. I think a lot of people compare it to Black Panther too much. I don't think it's that comparable to Black Panther personally. This is definitely the best looking DCEU film, like in terms of CGI, special effects. I think it's definitely the best one. And yeah, Jason Momoa does a really good job as Aquaman. The villains, almost. Black Manta I thought was really good. I know a lot of people didn't like him. I thought it was really good, but I do agree with most people on Orm, how he wasn't that good of a villain. But yeah. Now this movie does feel kind of long. Now I'm not saying it's boring, but it's one of those movies that's like, it's not boring, but it still feels kind of long for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I haven't rewatched it that many times, but so the times I have watched it, I liked it, So yeah, I think ultimately, God, I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm talking. I think Aquaman is a really good movie, and yeah, definitely up there in the top 5. Coming in at number 4 is Shazam. Now, I think this movie is great. I think Shazam is such a great movie. I had a lot of fun with it. It's definitely a really good family movie, and that's a good thing. I like that about it. Just Zachary Levi kills it as Shazam. He's so great in the role. Everyone else did a good job too. All the kid actors, they did really good. And I really liked the first 2 acts. The third act though, like the last 30 minutes, hour or so of this movie, were just really, really boring to me. None of the jokes landed in the last half hour or so of the movie. So it's just everything else is great about it. It's just that third act. It didn't get me at all. I thought it was really boring and stuff. So yeah, but besides that, I think Shazam was a great movie and definitely one of the DCEU's best films for sure. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Should be good. Coming in at number 3 is Wonder Woman. Now, this was such a good movie as well. I really, really enjoyed Wonder Woman. And unlike Wonder Woman 1984, this actually fits in to the DCEU's continuity. Like, actually does. So, respect. Now, I had the exact same problem with this movie as to do with Shazam. The third act just falls apart. And I think everyone can agree with me on that. Just the third act, the villain Ares or whatever, just it fell apart for me. And yeah, that stopped it from being more of a greater movie than it was. But it was still a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I liked the backstory for Wonder Woman here. I liked all the side characters. They were really cool. And yeah, I liked Wonder Woman. It was a really, really great movie. I thought it was great. And yeah. Coming in at number 2 is Man of Steel. Now, this is a great movie. I know a lot of people are mixed on this movie, but I thought it was great. I like the darker tone of Superman. I think they do a good job with that. And, it's just, I think it was done really well. And I really like General Zod. He's one of the only good villains, I'd say, in the DCEU. I really like him. The soundtrack in this movie was, great. It fits so well here. And just, I thought Man of Steel was a great movie. And for the longest time, I thought it was the best DCEU movie. I thought it was the best DCEU movie. But you guys probably already know what number 1 is. Well, but yeah, anyway, I think Man of Steel was a great movie. I just love rewatching it, and yeah. Coming in at number 1, you guys already know, it's The Suicide Squad. This movie is so much fun. Like seriously, I've only watched it a couple times now. All those times I've loved the movie so much. I think it's such a great movie and it's such a good sequel to the first movie. Like seriously, just big improvement. So yeah, James Gunn does such a great job with this movie. I'm so glad Warner Bros. Let him do literally anything he wanted to do because yeah, I think that's what made it a great movie. And yeah, and again, I keep bringing up Wonder Woman 84. Wow, unlike this one, they gave James Gunn whatever he wanted to do as well. At least he, kept the continuity making sense, and by doing that, he just didn't bring up anything that's happened in the universe this far. So, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, this I don't know. This might go down for me. I don't know, but as of right now, the Suicide Squad is definitely my favorite of the DCEU, and yeah, I freaking love this movie. I think it's such a great film, and yeah. Anyway, that was my ranking for the DC Extended Universe. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and be sure to let me know your list in the comments. What did you guys think of the DCEU, and how would you rank them? Let me know in the comments, and yeah. And let me know if you want me to start doing more rankings. I don't know if I will or not. I probably will do a few more every now and then, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. See y'all next time. Peace out, guys.